A few years ago, the tech company I worked at was acquired. I told everyone I was retiring. I was 30 years old. Unsurprisingly, I received a lot of skeptical responses. What, you're not gonna work anymore? What are you gonna do with your life? Each time I'd have to pause and explain what I really meant by retirement. When most people hear the word retirement, they think of beaches, Mai Tais, and a whole lot of Netflix. Or maybe they envision traveling the world with their life partner. Whatever your vision of retirement is, chances are the term more work doesn't come to mind. And that's where most of us make a critical mistake. Today, I'm going to talk about why our common understanding of retirement is deeply flawed. I don't want you wasting your life chasing an idealized concept of retirement, which, if you ever achieve it, will be far more disappointing than you realize. I'm also going to propose a much more empowering way to approach retirement. This approach is far more accessible and it's far more rewarding. Have I piqued your interest yet? Great, let's get into it. Welcome to Stake Your Wealth, where we tackle all things related to personal finance, financial independence, and smart investments. If building wealth is a priority for you, be sure to click that subscribe button and join our crew at stakeyourwealth.com. Let's kick things off by discussing what we get wrong about retirement. There are two primary issues at play. The first issue is the idea that you can't retire until you're old. In most countries, the established retirement age is somewhere between 60 and 70 years old. At that age, the government decides you've contributed enough to society, and you're finally able to start dipping into the communal pot. Now, to be clear, 65 isn't that old these days, assuming you're able to keep yourself healthy and fit. Unfortunately, most of us don't keep ourselves healthy and fit, especially in America. You can shake your fist righteously at me, but just look at the statistics. The Global Burden of Disease Project, which tracks the causes of age-related decline, showed in 2020 that the healthy life expectancy, in other words, the number of years people can expect to live without disability, is 65.5 years in the US. That means if you're an American and you wait until you're 65 to retire, chances are you'll be disabled in some way by the time you get there. Interestingly, in Japan, the healthy life expectancy is 85 years, a full 2 decades longer. So if you're waiting until your 60s to retire, maybe think twice before skipping that workout or depriving yourself of sleep. But why do people wait that long to retire in the first place? Why wait until they're no longer able to surf or summit a mountain or dance the tango? The answer lies in our second flawed conception of retirement. The idea that you must stop working once you retire. This is an incredibly limiting concept, yet society's commitment to it is nearly universal. Just think about it. As soon as someone retires, everyone tells them, stop working so hard, give yourself a break, you've earned it, you're too old for that. No one expects a retired person to do anything. And in fact, society pressures them to do nothing at all. To some people, doing nothing might sound appealing, but there's a big problem with it. In the absence of wages, this approach requires you to save up vast sums of money to cover your expected future living expenses. Social Security doesn't get you that far, and for most of us younger folks, Social Security isn't even guaranteed by the time we reach our 60s. Sure, some of us might have pensions, but those are also a far cry from a sure bet. Just ask ex-employees of the unstoppable IBM after the company decided to freeze its pension plans. This leaves you with your 401k and any other savings you've accumulated. Now, how much would you need in those savings to cover your living expenses? Let's take a look. Assuming you spend $8,000 a month in retirement, at a standard 4% annual withdrawal rate, you'll need to amass a fortune of nearly $2.5 million to produce enough passive income to cover your bills. Now, building a stockpile of $2.5 million is absolutely achievable, but it takes a great deal of time, hard work, and if we're being honest, luck. Given that the average net worth of an American at retirement is $190K, it's fair to say that most people won't get there. And of the people that do reach that level of wealth, many end up making irreversible sacrifices in the form of chronic stress, sleep deprivation, and other unhealthy lifestyle choices. And of course, there's another huge problem with doing nothing in retirement. Your brain turns to mush, literally. As soon as you stop mentally challenging yourself, your neurons start dying, and they don't grow back. This is why a wide range of studies suggest that age-related decline accelerates dramatically after retirement. People lose their sense of purpose and their motivation to stay mentally fit. Now, if what I'm saying is starting to raise your blood pressure, just take a deep breath and relax, because what I'm about to propose is a much better way to go about approaching your retirement. The solution to this gnarly retirement problem is surprisingly simple. Start your retirement today. Yes, you heard me correctly. I don't want you to wait until you're in your 60s. I want you to start now while you're still strong and healthy and have the energy to enjoy it. But there's one big caveat with this approach. You can't stop working, ever. Now, that may seem counterintuitive, so let me explain. When I say you can't stop working, I don't mean that you need to work in a cubicle your whole life. That wouldn't make any sense. Instead, what I mean is that you need to keep making money, but it's time to start doing it on your own terms. Specifically, you need to make sure you aren't reliant on a single income stream for your survival. That means if you're an employee, you need to set up some side hustles. Don't know where to start? Come up with creative ways you can solve other people's problems with the skills you already have. People will always pay to have their problems solved. If you feel like your skills don't cut it, there's an easy fix. Open up a new tab and sign up for Skillshare, which has hundreds of thousands of quality courses on high-demand skills. Or simply search YouTube for millions of free lessons on anything you can imagine. Once you liberate yourself from a single income source, you can declare yourself on the path to retirement. At that point, no single person or company has control over your life. Your destiny is your own. And as you get better at solving people's problems, 2 income streams become 4 and then 8. In less time than you realize, you'll have a diverse, uncorrelated portfolio of income streams, which grow as you grow. At that point, there is no single point of failure, no frozen pensions, no failed social security system that'll prevent you from living the life you seek. This is what we call financial independence, or financial freedom, take your pick. Sure, this isn't the same kind of retirement as lying on the beach with a cocktail, but if we're being honest, that gets old fast. And if you want to live a long, healthy, fulfilled life, research shows that keeping your brain stimulated with challenging problems is the best way to do it. And to be clear, you can still sip cocktails on the beach. You just want to set things up so that you're making money while you do that. So start your retirement today. Begin monetizing your existing skills in new, creative ways, or learn new skills so that you can start solving people's problems. Your goal is to unshackle yourself from a single source of income and embark on the path to a healthier and more secure and more fulfilling retirement. Now that I've shared my thoughts on retirement, I'd love to hear your thoughts. How do you define retirement? What approach are you taking to ensure your long-term financial security? Share that with me and the other wealth stakers in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and share this with anyone who loves building wealth. Finally, we publish the write-ups and podcasts for all of our content on our blog, stakeyourwealth.com. So be sure to check that out as well. With that, I bid you adieu and happy wealth staking.